All right, hey guys, Alarmer 450 here, and this is System Test 6, Chime Edition. So unfortunately, this video fell victim to being edited super late, and the reason for this is because I wanted to edit the fire alarm system test videos after the Simply Safe system test videos were complete. However, unfortunately, I realized that that is a stupid idea because now this system test, which is Christmas themed, is coming out extremely late in April, so please ignore any Christmas themes. Thank you. Yep, that's right. Instead of using horns for this video, I'm actually using chimes. And here's the panel. The main reason why I'm doing chimes instead of horns is because the Christmas tree is up, as you can see. And it was Christmas season 2 days ago, which means this video was supposed to be filmed 2 days ago. However, it wasn't. And the main reason why was because I had some unexpected company show up on Christmas Day when this test was supposed to be filmed. So sorry about that. But the Christmas tree is up, hence why I'm using chimes in this video instead of horns. And for more proof, I went ahead and took down all the old stuff, the Faraday and the Federal Signal B4. All that's down, including all the older retro pull stations. All those are down. I've got nothing retro or like mechanical horn type things on the system this time. It's a little bit different from usual. Anyway. What I do have up is some pretty modern chimes. I was going to go for mechanical chimes from the 60s. However, unfortunately, I was not able to do that because I kept on running into AC chimes. So I decided instead that I would just go ahead and dodge a bullet this year and go for modern chimes that is a little bit easier. And if anything, the chimes that I chose are pretty uncommon. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got. So for the pull station, I have a Firelight BG12L. That's right, it's an L, meaning that it has the standard lock. We'll go ahead and open it. Actually, this lock is not standard, correction, sorry about that. It has the actual key lock. The standard lock is a hex key and is kind of a little bit annoying sometimes if it's not secured properly. Anyway, BG12L, nothing too special about it after that. So yeah, got the Firelight BG12L. Let's put the keys back in the panel so that way we know where they are. And then going up, I have a Wheelock CH70. This is an older CH70, believe it or not, that has the Wheelock tag on it. The newer CH70s do not have that tag because this particular CH70 was manufactured in 2004. This is a CH70 24 MCW FW. I think that's the model number. I actually have the box right here. Let's see if I can take a look at the model number. Well, the motion detector is on top of it. Yep, 24 MCW FW. And you may notice that this CH70 is on an extension ring. And that is because this CH70 is super big. Like, the back of this goes all the way to here. Pretty big, and unfortunately doesn't fit in the box I have up there, so I had to go for an extension ring, which this extension ring sucks. So the next time I put this up, I'm probably going to put a different extension ring up here that actually fits the box. Because this is actually starting to warp because of it. Because this stupid box is like messed up, so that's great. And next to it, I have a Honeywell Wave. I'm not entirely sure if this is relevant or not. However, the reason why I consider it relevant is because this particular wave is actually going to be used as a chime because I have a chime tone driver hooked up to it, connected to the links. So I'm going to be using that as the chime. However, I don't think I have the configurations right, so I'm going to have to pause the video after testing the main stuff, and I'm going to have to quickly see if this is set on the correct setting, and then I'll actually set it off. And I still don't have anything on that T yet. I really need to do that. The main reason why I don't have anything on the T yet is because I do have the stuff for it in my cart on eBay, but I haven't actually ordered it yet. So once I order it and once I mount that box that is on my desk, I'll be able to set that up and have it ready for the next test. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what's in the hallway. For those who forgot, I did do a hallway expansion in the last test. Anyway, for the hallway devices, got a standard BG12. That's right, it's a standard BG12 that has the hex lock, which is mostly considered annoying to most enthusiasts. However, in this case, it's actually kind of makes sense because I kind of wanted something that was a little bit different from the main stuff, so there's that. And this is going to be a little bit difficult to reset with one-handed for this test because this board is not really secured properly for some reason. I think it's because I'm using too slippery of a stool. So yeah, there's the BG12. Anyway, going up, I have a Wheelock AMT 241575WFW. It is a white MT, and what's pretty special about this MT is the fact that it has 3 isolated inputs, which I think are called priorities. I'm not entirely sure. And not only that, it also adds this tone called vibrating chime. So this is set on vibrating chime for this video. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, this alarm and the CH70, I have tested them, and it seems that they're in sync when they first sound. However, after a little bit of a while, they fall out of sync. It's because I don't have a sync module. So maybe in the next test, I might get a sync module and go from there. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I think we're gonna go ahead and start the test in my bedroom. So let's go back in here. And I'm also gonna shut this door so the AMT doesn't drown out the CH70, and I don't really need that hearing protection right now. I'll get it when it's time to test this because this is extremely loud. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and start. Push in, pull down. I forgot to mention, this is set on continuous chime. There's 2 settings on the back by a jumper that determines if it's going to do single stroke or vibrating, and it's set on vibrating continuous. So there's that. All right, let's quickly silence that. All right. We have audible silence in here. I like having a strobe flashing in here again. If you guys remember from the last video, I had a horn only in here. That was the 5450, and that thing was obnoxious. Actually, we're gonna reset the pull stations after we're done setting off the alarms, so I'm just gonna leave that activated. Anyway, alarm silence completed. We'll go ahead and take a look at the alarms that we have on the screen. Maid bedroom, CD1. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I labeled these by cards, by what card they're connected to. And this is on zone 1, card 1. So I have this labeled as CD1, manual pull station, main bedroom. So yeah. And we'll go ahead and shut that. And now let's re-alarm it by the hallway. And I'm gonna quickly shut the chime off. There. All right. We have audible silence out here. And hex key is right here. Make sure I don't lose that. And let's go ahead and re-alarm it. I'm gonna shut the door so we can actually hear the AMT by itself. And let's go. zones 1 and 2. Now what I would like about the CH70 is that it actually finishes its ding versus this one just cuts off, which is kind of a little bit disappointing, but it's okay. Anyway, go ahead and take a look at the alarms on the screen. We have main bedroom, hallway right, and the reason why it's right is because if you're staring at it from the stairway, it's to the right. I don't think I'm going to add anything on the left side though, so I might have to take the right indicator off. I just wanted to have 2 words. Anyway, we have audible silence in here. And now let's go ahead and reset those pull stations. Grab the firelight key. This pull station is a little bit wonky. I don't like how these things have a latch that is really difficult to work with, where when you close the pull station, it gets stuck on the outside. I don't like how it's like that. Kind of almost feels like you're breaking it. Oops, we can't reset that yet. Darn it. Forgot we need to reset the pull station in the hallway. Here's our key. And here's the pull station. Go ahead and insert that. And you don't really have to do this because it pops the switch back up, but you can do that as well if you like. By the way, I don't know if anyone knows this, but with a 4005 or 4004, if you re-trip the same pull station, it sets off the alarm again. I forget what that's called.
It's called a subsequent alarm. Basically, when a pull station is on the same zone as another pull station that was activated, and that pull station gets pulled, it will re-alarm the system. Very useful feature, but if you have a pull station that is finicky, then it's a pain in the butt.
Someone can probably tell me again in the comments what it actually is, but basically the idea is that you have multiple pull stations on one single zone. So if you activate another pull station on the same zone, it will trip the alarm again. However, I do find that that can be a little bit aggravating if you accidentally open up the pull station again. There's the AMT. And let's go ahead and reset the panel. And it's 8:53 at night. It's actually a perfect time at night to do this because I don't have to worry about noise complaints this time. And we'll go ahead and leave it like that. And this is what I was talking about with the sync. As you can see, both strobes are out of sync now because they don't really have correct timings. See what I mean? There's the AMT. It did the double flash thing. I don't know why Wheelock devices do that, but it's actually kind of cool. Basically, if the power's cut off at the right time, the strobe will discharge. So we'll go ahead and put the hex key back. And that's it. No alarms on the system. Also, if you guys were wondering what that weird trouble was that was occurring in the last video when I was testing some of the stuff, I think that was a trouble called signal power input. And that happens when the wires going out from the same knockout as the power going into the panel. Apparently, if they touch or if they start interfering with each other, then this thing will give a signal power input trouble, which is quite annoying. And it took me a little while to figure out how to fix it. And I figured out that basically I just have to keep this thing away from the surge protector and it works. But if it's near the surge protector, then it starts having a tantrum. So that's why that trouble was occurring. It wasn't because of an earth ground problem. Anyway, that's it for the Christmas system test. Actually, no, it isn't. I gotta test the links now. I'm gonna actually quickly check to see if that is on the right setting, and I can go ahead and show you guys the inside of the Lynx EXT real quick. There's no tamper switch on the case, but there is a tamper switch for the 5800 RL that communicates with this. See, there's the tone driver right there. That is an Ademco 744, and I will go ahead and turn back on the chime just for kicks. So let's actually see, because I think this is not on the right setting. Is it? It is, actually. It is on the right setting. So let's go ahead and get the hearing protection on. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a screwdriver here. I'll go ahead and take this one. And we're just going to go ahead and trip this. And trip the smoke detector. Let's shut this.
Bedroom. Smoke detector.
Alright. Now I gotta get my keys. I just tripped over a bag. Alright. Now let's go ahead and silence the panel. Or the system, excuse me. Alright. So that's silenced. And the Lynx is silenced. Sorry about all that crappy camera work. I was trying to shut things off, and then I tripped on this bag and this step stool here. So anyway, we'll go ahead and reset that. Oops, I gotta reset the pull station. Duh. Thankfully the 4005 has a little bit of recovery time to quickly reset pull stations and everything else. So yeah, there's that. And then we'll go ahead and reset this. And that is now reset. And that is still flashing because the strobes stay flashing until the system is fully reset. Which should be any time now. There we go. All right, the system is now reset. And that concludes it for System Test 6, Chime Edition. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Sorry if this video came out a little bit crappy. I was trying to keep things quick and I was kind of having a hard time doing that. And I also am trying to fight at the same time my poor room management, so that's also kind of fun. So yeah, that's it for the video. And thank you for watching. Also, real quick, actually not it for the video, kind of. I got a new computer that is an Apple product because my Windows computer has ceased working for exporting. It doesn't like exporting anymore because my storage is starting to become a little bit full because this is mainly for main use. It's for like gaming and everything else. This is going to be for work and for video editing because it can communicate with my phone. I can get calls and texts straight for this computer. Very, very nice upgrade. I can understand where people kind of get a little bit angry of the fact that I'm using a Mac instead of a Windows computer, but it works, it works. And if anything, DaVinci Resolve runs so much faster on this computer. So anyway, that's it for the video. So, thank you for watching.